Okay, so we discussed grid at in full in the last class. So now in this class, I want us to deal with typography. So what do you mean by typography? When we talk about typography, usually we are trying to look at text and at this the way things are being written. So we're going to look at the different typography when it comes to Bootstrap. You remember your H1, H2, H3, all those are typographies. Like when you write your H1 and you say hello. So we want to look at classes that are provided for it in Bootstrap. So the first one we're going to be looking at is the H1 to H6. You know, those days, if you want to write H1, write H1 to H2, H3, H4, H5. So all these can be used as classes now. You could put a paragraph and say class is equals to H1. And I can say, hello, this is H1. Now, remember, this is a paragraph. This is actually not an header, but we are passing a class that will make it looks like, that will make a paragraph to become an header. So let's go, let's refresh. Can you see this is H1? Unlike if I use my normal paragraph, I'm not going to have something like this. If I use my normal paragraph, I should have something of this nature. So I believe we understand this. So that's the first one we'll be looking at. So this spans from H1 to H6. So it could be H2, it could be H3, it could be H4. If I say H2, if I refresh this, if I come in here and I refresh, can you see that's H2? So it spans like that down to H6. Check out 3 and see. So that's for that. So we have from H1 to H6 as classes that can be used as a class instead of as an header. So which means you can still use your H1. That doesn't mean you can still use your H3. It will work. But using that is just like trying to make a paragraph looks like an header. You can see there's no difference. It's the same thing as our normal H3. Okay, so another one we're going to talk about is display. How we display our heading. For instance, now, okay, the H3 is an heading. So we have different display. You know, H1 has maximum size. It can go, this is the maximum size and H1 it can be. But we now have a kind of extra heading that we can make use of. So display heading, they're also of 6 classes. Okay, let's look at them. Let me make use of the first one. So in an H1, we can say, okay, class display minus 1. That's the first class. If I refresh this, can you see? It's bigger than H1. It's not just as bold as H1, but it's let me say it gives you a larger display of your header. So we can go down to 6 like our normal H2. And it doesn't have to be inside the H1 tag. It could be a P tag. It could be any tag. Just make sure they call the class, no changes. So that's for display. That's another set of class we have in Bootstrap. So another one we have is the small class. Small. So if I come here and say display class is equals to small, and I refresh, can you see this is small? So it makes it small. For instance, you know, there are times you just want something small in between some text. Okay, let's do it this way. Let's write another. Okay, let's span this class. So here, let's say we have a P class. Then here we have the class with a display -1. I will say hello display. So if we refresh this, oh sorry, I made a mistake. they are together in the same class. Let me just bring it this way. Now you said this one is smaller, this one is bigger, this is a paragraph, this is another one. So this is small. That's another one. So we have another one we call Mac. Let's see how it works. So if I change this to Mac, can you see it has like a kind of background showing that okay, this particular text is marked out. So this is the background. So it's going to highlight the text. That's what Mac does instead of you highlighting the text. So we have another one we call abbreviation. For instance, now let's say, okay, let me remove this. Let's use WHO. We want to let people know WHO is an abbreviation. WHO. So say ABBR. I think so. I'm not very sure. Okay, I think that should be. So this is an abbreviation. Showing that it's an abbreviation. I'm trying to remember what exactly make it. Okay. I'm trying to remember how exactly it's an abbreviation. Okay, I remember. So for the class abbreviation, I think we should have a title. I think so. Yes, we should have a title to it. So I think it should be okay. I remember. This should be a tag on its own. Yeah, this should be a tag on its own that carries a title. Title is the meaning of that abbreviation. We said this should be World Health Organization. So if I come in here and I refresh, so can you see? So once I put my mouse on it, it shows me that this is an abbreviation and it's World Health Organization. This is just an HTML, but also is part of Bootstrap. So okay, we have others like that, so and so on and so forth, but these are the major ones that I'll make use of. So that's why I'm actually taking us through this. Let me see if I could. Let me see if we could just go into one or two. Let's go for H1. Let's say hello. This is H1. So I say the class here. Let me use text capitalized. I think it's capitalized. I want to make use of this. I just want this to know. I'm not sure it's working. Just want to. I think I won't make use of it. I'm not sure if if we have it in 5. I don't think so. Okay, so guys, so that's all about typography. So since we are still let's move into another one. Let's move into colors. How we'll give our text different colors. We're still on time. I think the video is not that long yet. So remember when we started this class, let me change this back to container so that I want this thing to be smaller. When we started the Bootstrap class, I did something like this test danger, if you remember. So one more thing, let me say you can add more than one class to a particular tag or text or anything. For example, now this text danger, this is display -1. So which means it's gonna have a red color and it's gonna have this attribute of display -1. So if I come in here and I refresh, can you see? So now we want to talk about color. We have several color. We have one we call muted. So if I come here, if I change, okay, let me bring in different each one for each color so that we'll see the difference within them. We have text muted. We have success. What else do we have? I think we have warning. We have danger. That was the first one. So we have secondary. Yep, secondary. Is that all? I think we have I'm not sure if we have dark gray. Do we have dark gray? We have info. We have info. Yeah, remember we have info. We have white too. You might actually not see this, but I will look for a way of making us to see it. After white, we have dark. So that's all. That's all. I think we have one. The one we have lights. Yeah, we have lights. So these are the color provided for you if you want to give your uh, text color. Like I said, the other time I mentioned that we can override some of this color. You can try to give your own color. Probably the color you want is not here. So I think this is the other time I'll demonstrate that. So if I refresh, can you see different colors? Can you see the light one? It's not very dark. It's not very white. It's just like a fainted gray. This is white. I'm sure that's why we couldn't say this. So these are the different colors we have in Bootstrap. Now, for instance, I might want to change the color of this. So you might just need to remove text danger, just give it another color entirely, just give it another class name, then go into your style sheet. Or you might need to create a new style. Okay, let me just say, okay, I have a new style.css, and I said, let me link it. So you can link more than one style, even if you're using Bootstrap. You can still link your own personal style sheet. So doesn't have to be Bootstrap alone. You can link your own personal style sheet. So now I'm linking my own personal style sheet. And yeah, I say, let's see. I said color is equals to, you can say, because this is for what's it called? This is for Bootstrap. So instead, I can just maybe let me call my own text dangers. So come here, put dangers. Are we good? Now that's it. So the same thing applies to background color. In case you want to do background color, all you just need to do is for instance, now if I want to make this white to become red, so all I just have to do is just to use the same thing. Instead of text, you use BG this time around. Just say BG danger. I believe you understand that. So it's the same. You can use BG danger, BG muted, BG success, BG warning, secondary info, white, dark light. So same thing applies to it. So if I come here, can you see we have BG danger? So the same thing applies. I can use any of those colors that I've mentioned before as background. So that's that for our colors and our colors usually in our typography. So thank you very much. Thanks for listening. So see you in the next class. Next class, I'll be talking about tables. We'll be doing some cool things with tables. We'll see how tables work in Bootstrap, how we can use our tables in Bootstrap, how we can use our Bootstrap classes to make our table looks silk and good. Okay, see you in next class.